watching the 2024 Minor League Cricket Championship presented by Yash Technologies.
Good morning and welcome back to another day of cricket in Minor League Cricket 2024, presented by Yash Technologies. We've got a great lore between these two teams, Chicago Tigers and Kingsmen, going against one another in the Central Division. 8 teams taking part in Central Division. Chicago Kingsmen and the Tigers are yet to open their accounts. Both the times, 3 times, these two teams have faced one another. 2 of the times, Chicago Tigers have emerged victorious. One time the match was abandoned, the points shared between them. We'll have to see, is it going to be the Chicago Tigers who are going to be roaring and winning again, or Kingsmen having different plans today? Mithansh Nityanandam alongside Desai, who's going to be his opening partner. A lot of changes that have been brought between two teams, keeping the core intact, making sure they're going for the championship. And none other than the lethal fast bowler Ehsan Adil to open the bowling attack. First ball right on the money, thuds onto the pad. It was just to show good reputation for Ehsan Adil, who's played a lot of cricket around the world, formerly represented Pakistan. 2013 is when he showed his scintillating performance in South Africa, Centurion, where Graeme Smith, the team Proteas having their purple patch, picked up early on wicket, gave Pakistan an early breakthrough. Back of the length, right on the money. There's very rare margin that Ehsan Adil will be missing on against this young gun. Chicago Tigers. 2 games they won against Kingsmen. You wouldn't see, if you look at the past scorecards, that there was a lot that the Kingsmen lost by a big margin, but very less they want to cover in this game. Opens face of the bat and will run away. There comes the account opener with 1 run. Nityanandam getting off the strike. Will be easy conditions to assess for the opening batters. With the reputation what Ehsan Adil comes, he brings on a lot to the table for the team. He's bowling those magnificent spells. Every time he's been given ball in his hand, at least you'd see that he's been very frugal and efficient, effectively efficient for the team with his maidens. Nerves everywhere, shot of the length again. Using his pace, guides down to third man. Surely get one. This will be the hour the batters would want to assess how the wicket will play. And then accordingly would take on the shots. Did not want to go anything risky here. Looks like a decent batting track. Ball's coming nicely onto the bat. 2 runs so far of 4 deliveries. Mithansh Nityanandam, promising young talent. Full face of the bat, diving effort. Quick on the feet, scampers back for one run. Great running between the wickets. Good call. Communication will be the key for any batter to run between the wickets here. On point fielding. See that jostling energy between the fielders. The same ground for any team, you'd be making a difference as the fielding effort you're putting in. That gives the extra confidence, the extra layer of confidence to the bowler. We'll have to halt a little. Chicago Tigers from the very own skipper, Calvin Savage, who's also represented Texas Super Kings in Major League Cricket. We've seen what his prowess can do. Both the teams have balanced a lot of stars who've represented the national sides, former national sides, in fact. Making some adjustment. Will have to stay in his crease. That becomes a good over for Kingsmen. A decent start for Chicago Tigers, negotiating well with Ehsan Adil. An overs down in the books with 3 runs on board.
Even the best in the business needs a strategic partner to help them win. Yash Technologies, more than what you think.
We'll have to look out for the brother in action for Kingsmen. With 1 over and 3 runs given, be a decent start. Going back to the flashback of 2023, what Ehsan Adil did, mind-boggling figures when he was representing Dallas Mustangs. 4 overs, 3 maidens, a wicket, and just 5 runs of his 24 deliveries. Mathansh Nityanandam on the other side, 51 is his highest, but will not be easy coming against a talented side. Ziaul Haq clipped nicely, they'll run away for 4. Nicely, his eyes lit up as soon as he saw the ball full and using his wrist. There you see, in his slot, just had to tickle away for the boundary. 4 runs to be collected. Bread and butter for any batter. Going down the leg, just drifting away. You have to use your wrist to guide it down to the fine leg. No protection. And in fact, Zia should be mindful when you have 2 players only outside the circle. The white dots. Barrington looks like a facility which is coming up. Nice, smooth, rhythmatic run up from Ziaul Haq. He's nicely adjusted his line, knowing what has happened. Was it a bad ball? It was just drifting down the leg. If you could remember how Methanch played him. T20 can be a frenetic game if you don't make adjustments quickly. It is far from over. He was bamboozled by that delivery. He did well to survive. Soft hands were the key there. Just carrying down to third. Excellent bowling from Ziaul Haq again. Great comeback after being sent for 4 runs. That is the type of response you'd see from veterans who've played a lot of cricket, knowing the conditions well. Straight to the keeper's pouch, teasing the batter here against the fourth line of the stump. At times, that's when the bowler asks the batter to try to drive him. It gets difficult for a batter and falls prey. It's the golden rule where the bowler's trying to hit the top of off stump. Great carry, great bounce, no answers from the batter for Ziaul Haq this time. Will let the ball pass to the keeper. Interesting composition of the table if you look at how the central division points table is structured. Only two teams that have not played any game. They're opening their account, but only one to emerge victorious. Again, could not pick it up onto his ribs. That's quick. Good signs for the batter. Anyone who'd be playing back length. That ends the over. Another over. Down. 8 runs on board.
It's an impossible shot.
Sometimes creativity and innovation are all it takes to achieve the impossible. Yash Technologies, more than what you think.
I reckon it would be Anwar Ali Khan from Pakistan. Would be given ball in hand. I wonder at times, are they in hunt for a wicket, quick wicket? A great opportunity, especially playing in minor league cricket. When you have players like this who have represented their former countries. And an opportunity for everyone here to present their talent. I wonder what the tactic of the captain would be here to rest Ehsan Adil with the first over. He wasn't too bad except for 3 runs that he gave. Started with the freebie. Great all-rounder, proven for the national side. Has represented Quetta Gladiators in PSL. A lot of cricket played under his belt. A robust power hitter, a handy all-rounder having a knack to pick up wickets. Takes on straight down the ground. Will it be the first maximum? We'll have to wait for the signal from the umpire. Looks like a pretty solid shot. Stood tall, on the rise, belted away to the long on. 4 runs to collect for Mithansh Nityanandam. Is looking in great touch, positive signs. Auspicious looking start for Chicago Tigers. This is what you'd be expecting from the opening pair. So give a solid foundation. We'll have to scamper quickly and a misfield from the fielding side. Smart cricket after a boundary. Just get on to the non-strikers end. That's the safe place. Just to examine what the trick bowler's doing or he's executing. A lot to be learned from cricket, especially if you're on the non-strikers end. Great bounce, some sweet chin music here, but did well to keep the ball low. The third man and will get another one. Already 7 of the over with 2 balls remaining. A decent start. Chicago Tigers would not be sad about the start they've got. They're doing well to negotiate against the bowler, the speed expresses. Making slight adjustments to the field. And mind you, this is the power play. Only 2 fielders allowed outside the circle, the 30-yard circle. Two furls straight onto the pads, crying, appealing. The umpire remaining unmoved, unshaken. Leg bias. Probably might have been drifting down the leg stump. Great call by the umpire. Experience. You can see on your leg. Especially with that stance what Mathanch is having, his leaving the leg stump, and when he's covering that onto his back foot, that gives the possibility of ball missing the first stick. It's a good call from here. It looks like it surely was missing the stump. Takes on, goes big, high, and handsome with a bounce. 4 runs to collect to end the over. Top edge. Runs are runs. No wonder how they come in what form they come in. Chicago Tigers off to a flyer with 21 on board, no loss of wickets. It was a long over from Anwar Ali Khan. Two boundaries, a wide. Eleven runs of the third over. That brings Ziaul Haq, I presume, to continue. Slightly windy conditions here at Barrington. The bowlers would want to use the wind, the conditions, to the best of their favor. Especially when you're a seamer, you'd want the ball to swing laterally, creating some trouble and disruption for the batting team. The way they've been batting, especially cannot take my eyes or any of the viewers from Matanch Nityanandam. Drills back straight to mid-off. Great running between the wickets. No doubts, no concerns. The way the batters are responding one another. It's all about the team harmony, what you build. Having trust on your fellow batter. And cannot take the credit from Jeet Desai from the non-strikers end. Because the way he's been batting in tandem, he understands that Bethanch is taking the risk and it's proving out to be fruitful for the team. Right now, what he has to do is anchor from the other side, especially with the power play. They've got a big over with 11 runs. They're looking to accelerate. Moves across the stumps, great slower one. Good change of pace here. In a fast game like T20, a slower ball, apart from your stock ball, always comes handy. That fright of hand, but it comes risky, especially when you're using that slow ball in the power play. Tries some innovation, but perishes here. Not seeing the fine leg inside the circle, wanted to go over him. Way too fast, way too away. He had to drag it, but finds the fielder here. Jeet Desai, the first wicket, first blood drawn by Ziaul Haq from Chicago Tigers, will have to depart for two after facing seven balls. The, that brings on a southpaw, Shivam Sahni. The type of attributes what these two teams have going down the leg, we'll discuss about the attributes both the teams going against one another having, especially when you see Chicago Tigers, they've got a couple of left-handers, but what I saw missing was a left-hander missing from Chicago Kingsmen, except for Ziaul Haq, which came as a wild card. Back of the land, they're greeting him. Welcome to the crease, facing Ziaul Haq. And over remaining, he's been absolutely efficient to the team with a wicket down the leg. Only one run so far. Could have been a maiden, but that one extra wanted to belt him. The bounce, the carry to the wicket keeper. That ends the over. A wicket down, an eventful over for Chicago Kingsmen. 4 overs done, 22 on board with one wicket.
Even the best in the business needs a strategic partner to help them win. Yash Technologies, more than what you think.
We'll have to see how Matanch and Shivam will rebuild their innings from here, especially losing Jeet Desai. Going against tall, fast bowlers. Just like a left-hander missing from Kingsman, what gave me a shock. Looking at their team, they had no left-hander bowler, but I don't know if they've got spinner, but the pattern for minor league cricket 2024 was that most of the teams, based on the conditions, were starting with the spinners as well. We haven't seen spin bought on so far, especially with the carry, the wickets proving. Going down the leg, he'll leave that one to pass to the keeper. Free runs. Early stages of the game, this is where the captain would want to tighten the line and the length, especially speaking to the lads that they do not want to leave any extras here. Short pitch, soft hands to the fielder inside the circle. Asif Mahmood. Moving across, exposing his stumps, trying to reach. This is only the ball that I've seen that stayed low. Shivam might have been expecting some bounce. Good aggressive signs. That want to carry their aggression, especially the way Nityanandam was playing his innings. They want to regulate the same way, would want to keep the ball and the scorecard moving. Singles are the trick, especially for a fast paced game. They'll take whenever the free runs come in. Chicago Tigers. When we're talking about not the biggest of the margins when Kingsmen have lost against Chicago Tigers, both the games were close encounters. Might be when we look at the past scorecards, this might be one factor that they would want to negate, especially with extras. This is in your control. The bowling, the type of accuracy when you see when you're a bowler, you already premeditate the line and the length you want to bowl. That was a gift. That was a gift, and Shivam obliges to the gift and gets 4 runs on one bounce. Straight going down the leg, same as we've seen in the previous over from Ziaul Haq from the second over. Most of the boundaries so far have come from the leg side. That has been the area the captain or the veteran bowler, the experienced campaigner who would be standing inside the circle would want to talk to the bowler and say that probably you'd want to change a little. Much better. That hung in for the air. A full toss, that's a gift. He could have hit that anywhere, absolutely anywhere, and has managed to belt that out of the ground. Straight on his hips. That'll get the first maximum. Good looking overs from Ziaulak and Ehsan Adil at once, turning out to be horrendous from the fellow bowlers. We apologize for the technical difficulty with the scoreboard. We're working on it, and soon the scoreboard will be updated. But I'm sure you guys would be enjoying, especially our viewers from their home comfort, the type of batting these promising young guns are displaying on your screens, especially from the ball one I've seen Mathanj take on the charge, and nowhere is hampered with his confidence or the stroke. Absolutely clean and serene. Whatever I've seen on your screen, you might have been witnessing as well from this young bloke that he was never in two minds, full of confidence. The summon Ehsan Adil after he's gone only for 3 runs after his first over. He's opened the bowling attack. A great delivery. That was a great delivery from the seamer. A natural angle for Ehsan Adil. You would say that they've got a slip in position because he locks in his wrist, and that's the natural angle. Takes away for the outswing for the batter. That's why they had a slip in place. But would they continue with the slip? Natansh Nityanandam of 18 deliveries, batting on 26. Good change of pace has outfoxed the batter. slightly on the shorter side where Hassan is using his area, the surface, especially when you see that wide slip, the batter would have in his mind that probably the bowler would want to make me drive, and that extra striding forward may result with the multitude, the possibilities. We can only think, you can only think, and the unraveling is to be done by Hassan Adil. Off the back foot, straight to the fielder. Going six and over. They wouldn't mind, especially with the power play coming to the end. Let's see if they'll be able to utilize the max out of the three balls. What are remaining to complete the power play? To why? That's the swing. The ball swaying in air. He wouldn't be too mad about the way ball went. Be happy to see the ball swaying in air, performing some tricks. A very natural swinging talent for Ehsan Adil, especially who's shared the dressing room with one of the best T20 bowlers the world has ever seen when he was a part of New York's. Flicked away well. The pace on Ehsan's bowling will come friendly to Shivam Sani. Got into good position, did not lose his shape, and knew where the area was slightly shorter. That bounce is doing the trick, especially the batter. If we are seeing the bounce, how good the wicket's been. Two more balls. Will they be able to plunder in these two balls? Taking the leading edge will be a teaser for the third man. Sliding effort saves at least three for the team here. Great fielding from the boundary raider. Surely has saved 3 runs. Every run counts here, especially we see games coming very, very close. The minor league cricket 2024. Nothing's been a one-sided game that you'd predict, that you'd assume that this team has an edge over the other one. Box of quizzical, bewildering we've seen so far. Comes down the ground, aggressive approach, but Hassan Adil gets better of the batter. Can see some exchange. Words of exchange from Hassan Adil from the young gun. That ends the over. Power play ended. 39 with 1 wicket down. Should not be too surprised nor unhappy about the way they are rebuilding after an expensive over. Third over was given to Anwar Ali Khan. Now he's again after the power play, he's been brought back to attack, especially with the field opening up with the strengths. We'll go back. from where it has come from, especially with the field opening up after the power play. We've seen Ali Khan coming effective to his franchises once the power play is done. Going back to the strength, but the strength here for the batter is playing on the rise here, has absolutely been scintillating. The shots he's got in his cricketing book, nothing ugly. You see that? Is playing the ball on the bounce, taking it on the rise. That's what happens when you identify and examine the wicket, the early conditions. The faster you assess, the better it is as a team. That's a full toss, straight over the head. This will run away for another 4 runs. That was a gift here. Loose bowling. They've got 2 and 2. Just had to wait and flex his arms. Even the tall man, he could not get his hands over that. This is brilliant. This is the platform that you get in minor league cricket. Beat anyone, the talent speaks for itself. Nicely driven, elegant from the left-hander. Be too surprised when you're especially playing those type of strokes. If cover drive is your favorite area to score, you'd be far too unhappy if you're not getting any runs. But these are the good signs that as a batter you'd like, saying that I'm getting the ball nicely onto my bat. Change of pace, read it well, soft hands, put that in the gap, running hard, he'll come back easily, completing 2 runs. Nicely committed, Shivam and Mathanch. Great running between the wickets. Always people have understood, the viewers or the spectators mostly, they've enjoyed the power hitting, but what puts the fielders and the bowling team under pressure is the singles and the doubles the batters usually take. It's because when you've got that equation of 6 balls and you're taking every ball a run and you've got an odd boundary. Nicely pulled across, a beautiful looking shot again from Shivam's bat. You can just keep praising and fall out of words, but not out of shots for Shivam here. An absolute masterclass. What is converted? We've spoken in the power play with the early wicket. They needed a partnership, and especially after 7 overs, partnership growing better and better with 53 on board, 1 wicket down. Again, an expensive over. 14 runs off Anwar Ali Khan's over. 25 runs is conceded in 2 overs. It looks like the captain's call, the spinner. Tajinder Singh was no short of experience. The finger spinner was a part of GT20 in Canada, who represented Mississauga Bangla Tigers. Also part of the teams in IPL. Right into the block hole, he fires one of orthodox finger spinner. You can see that the way he's regulating his over. Nothing to lose. Flighted one. Nicely flighted. Will be the first one. And the spinner does the trick. Another wicket for Chicago Kingsmen. There's the flight. He stimulated the batter to play against the spin, going along the spin as well. That did not help him, but except for taking on the fielder. Another partnership broken by Tajinder Singh. "53 on board, 2 wickets down for Chicago Tigers. They'll have to reconstruct again. Let's see who has the skipper sent in to bat in the middle against Tajinder Singh, who straight away in his very first over, third ball, has picked up a wicket. None other than the former South African, Justin Dill, who's also been a part of the winning side 2024 Major League Cricket, Washington Freedom, a prolific all-rounder. Tall man, top hand dominant. Usually you'd see Justin coming in a little lower the order when it is required to pinch hit, but the situation demands something different here. They'll get one. The captain's shown faith in him, promoted up the order. Just one run. Will the over remain same with 1 and 1? Field change. This is going to be a pain for the bowler and the bowling captain, especially having the left-hander. For the bowler as well, it gets difficult to adjust to the line. For a finger spinner, that's a beauty, a peach of a delivery. Looks like they've got hold of the batter here. Shivam Sani not too long for the second wicket. Look at that taking turn. That was a wild turn here. Outbeaten the batter, and he's questioning the umpire, especially with the back foot. That might be the blind spot usually for the batter. Nonetheless, another wicket here. Tejinder Singh, 2 wickets and a run here in an eventful over. Wicket stumbling for Chicago Tigers. Eight overs done, 54 on board for 3 wickets. Out in the middle is the captain from Chicago Tigers, Calvin Savage. Another profound all-rounder. From a different side in MLC, Major League Cricket, Texas Super Kings. I'm sure you'd not be forgetting the 7 runs required in 6 balls over, where he slugged and finished with that one big six. Heroics are a regular day office work for him. Let's see if he can stand against the Kingsmen. Is it going to be the Tigers' road today again, or the Kingsmen having different plans in place? It's just that 1 or 2 big overs, especially with the spin, those 2 wickets should be good, should be giving good confidence to the bowlers and Kingsman team. Like I've said, the pattern, the paradigm what has been followed through the league in 2024 for minor league cricket. The spinners have proven out to be efficient and very effective The type of surfaces we're seeing here, spinner friendly, but a good bounce. You have to be a little more precautious when you're facing spinner with that spin and turn. And going back to the wicket, what Tejinder picked up in Shivam, especially when you're a left-hander, you'd want that bowler who's an unorthodox, especially a right-hander, to come taking that ball away. The regular spin, the orthodox spin for the right-hander with the right-hander batter would come in, but with the left-hander, you'd have to have a different mindset because it is going away, and that has happened. That sharp turn from the surface, the experience has come in handy for Tejinder and Kingsmen here. With two Azams in the side, we see one of the Azam brothers bowl, roll his arm. Facing the very first ball of 2024 minor league cricket, Calvin Savage. Great batting strike rate, 144. Right on the money. Will have to be quick to scamper, and they skitter well, collecting one. Now this is the great period for the batting team, especially that three wickets lost. Either the teams get very comfortable here in this period, knowing that they've taken a wicket and they've broken the backbone of the team. But this is the time for the team to analyze that if this is how it is going to be, are they here for straight kill, or they want to make the batters play here. And especially looking on the contrary side of the batting side, they'd want to grow partnerships here. They'd not want to take any unusual blows from the bowling team, especially when they are in a good nick. Gets the inside edge, lucky to get onto the pad, not onto the stump. The momentum of the game has swung again back in the favor of Kingsmen. For, for a period of time, we thought that the Tigers were getting away with the game. Presses forward in defense and will get a one. Smart cricketer Justin Dill and Calvin Savage. They understand each other's game well. Irrespective, they've played against each other in Major League Cricket. This has been a good addition, especially bringing in Justin Dill for Chicago Tigers. They needed that balance, another explosive all rounder. Using his wrist, sending down to the long on. Will get one, will not hurt. This over will not hurt Chicago Kingsmen. 59 on board, 9 overs completed, and 3 wickets for Chicago Tigers.
It's an impossible shot.
Sometimes creativity and innovation are all it takes to achieve the impossible. Yash Technologies, more than what you think.
No wonder why Tejinder Singh would be continuing to his bowling spell. He's got 3 more overs for today. Nice turn. It's heaven to another off spinner. To see that turn on the pads, tall man. Anything about the knee roll is a question that the umpire himself would be asking. But looks like a trap here, especially the type of turn the bowler's getting. When in doubt, get the broom out. Reverse sweep gets him 4 runs. That's a good counter method for the spinner. Saw that too full, his eyes lit up. Very vivid, fashionable stroke for the skipper Savage. Is always ruthless with his six hitting ability. Has always been a quick reader of the game. That's a blessing in disguise as a captain if you're able to read the game. Tries to get hold of another one. How would you counter, especially to our viewers who are watching? This is a question. I'm sure that you've played a lot of cricket. Swept again. The fielder will be coming back for the second. Keeper not happy. He would have been expecting the throw straight to the bowler. There's some scope for the fielding to be improved. Going back to the question to our viewers, especially as a batter, when you'd be bowling, if someone's taking you on sweeps, then what would your counter method be? Because I'm sure you guys have played a lot of cricket, aficionados of cricket. On your home comfort couch, you might be thinking that the team could have done this method better, this bowling spell better. Get sweep out again. Is sweeping them well. This is something the captain and the bowler would scratch their head and think that probably I might want to bring the batter straight. Too full. Again, too full. 2 and 2 boundaries. We've seen what has come from sweep, reverse sweep. One from the third man region. This one from deep point. I would say try bring the batter onto the front foot. Make him stride, especially that one wicket for Shivam, the way the ball turned. It's keeping too full. He's surprised. Is taken by a surprise to end the over. 2 overs in Tajinder's book. 2 wickets taken. 70 on board. 10 overs completed. Treading on 7 and over. Especially with the whole reflecting back to the conversation we were having about having that layback approach from the bowling team. We have seen that in the international cricket as well a lot of times when the teams think that they've almost got the teams, that's when the element of surprise comes out of the box and says that we are still here now in the game. Hamad Azam for a second over. His adept helped him score 92 runs in under 19 semi-finals, which helped under 19 Pakistan team to go into finals. 92 runs Hamad scored against West Indies. That'll go as a feather in his cap. 2024 is represented from Seattle Orcas. He's played that cricket and knows his mode of operation. Slips off for one. in love with the pattern and the type of improvement, especially the minor league cricket has been up to. Getting on with the national players, you get to play with the national players, share the same locker rooms, to get to know what their thinking is, their mindset is, their determination is, what got them, what made them the heroes. Another one direct hit could have gone. Direct hit could have made umpire question. Some pressure on the umpire. The umpire's been pretty decent. The umpiring, no question about their experience. It makes it hard, especially when there's no margin for error. Tough for the umpires, always on the firing line, but doing their job exceptionally well. Bends a little, guides down to the short third man. Fielder in place with the dressing room, what the players share, and knowing what has got them into the spot, what they're doing so well. So, great platform. Now it's upon the players to leverage this opportunity. Clips another one downtown for one. Calvin Savage batting on 14 of 10 and Justin Dill 7 of 10. 75 on board, 11 of the overs completed, 3 wickets down. Very fascinating to see. I thought that they'd be spending Tejender's overs, but I think he hadn't bowled too bad of an over. It was just too full, but they might have wanted to keep the gender in continuity to give him that rhythm, but we'll be seeing a change from the bowling aspect. Looks like a leg spinner, what has been the eyeing commodity for T20 cricket if it's a leg spinner. There he is, getting some great turn of the surface. I'd love to see Abhimanyu Poswal bowling a bit forward and that 8 meters length and let the ball do its trick, getting that kiss of the surface and see how it pans out. There it is. There's the turn. Great fielding effort. Great acumen from Anwar Ali Khan inside the circle. Time and time, the same ground, the same surface. The X factor is the fielding. Great turn. Taking away from the leg stick to off stick. Trying to probe him, giving the ball that flight. Surely Calvin Savage is trying to oblige, but the bowler's too smart here. Nicely flighted again. In love with the bowling action, what Abhimanyu Poswal's doing. Nothing too fancy, keeping it basic, keeping it simple. Look at the flight he's giving, going strength to strength. Brings him down the track, inside edge. This time the luck has come into the favor of Chicago Tigers. Again, another factor that constitutes when you're bowling really well, but the fairy of luck not residing on your side. But as a bowler, this is another question to the viewers. Would you stick? How would you react and how would you respond to it? Great turn. Keeping it simple. They've got protection here. Ends the over. Has come in a flash and gone as well. Three runs off the first over, 78 on board, 12 overs completed. The run rate started to dip a little. At ones and 10 overs, we were able to see them bat with 7 and over. Has come down to 6.5 and over here.
Even the best in the business needs a strategic partner to help them win. Yash Technologies, more than what you think.
Shot delivery cuts away. And Hamad Azam has also been a part of MI New York in 2023, giving you a little trip to Pakistan, Lahore Qalandars, and Multan Sultan as well. Has played good cricket, understands the game well. Something that Hamad Azam is not trying hard is has belted that. Is it going away? Going away to the fielder here. Great sliding catch. In the deep, was in the slot, wanted to take on, but the nifty sense of Hamad Azam has come handy to pick another wicket for the Kingsmen. I've been mentioning about the fact that what he's not been doing is not overdoing about things. At times, you need to let the ball do its trick. Choose your areas, choose your channels, and stick to your fundamentals. And that has paid him the results. 4 wickets down. Almost half of the side sitting in the pavilion. Brings on Jeet Patel. On the ribs. Persistence has been the key. If you look at the bowling and the areas where Hamad's been bowling, nothing too fancy, just keeping it in the right spots where he's found the batter struggle. Trying to keeping away from the batter. Somewhere Tigers would be happy to project at least 140 on board. We always hear from the other games, from the other commentators as well, that 140 here on these type of surfaces and pitches is always a tricky total. Getting away from the pads. Surprised to see the stump coming off. There's a little humor from Justin Dill. Might have collided with the stumps. Just an assumption about the score is that projecting 140, they wouldn't be too sad about putting 140 on board. It's always tricky when you see that it's a low scoring total. But always, it's been perpetual that low scoring games at times keep to hang on turns out to be the cliffhangers because the teams think it's usual human mentality that we think that it's an easy target, 120 balls, 140 runs, just 20 extra any other day, an boundary, and some extras would take you across the line. But at times, what we absolutely forget about the factor is that the other conditions as well, the conditions, how the ground is playing, if there's any dew factor of the surface, how we are reacting to how is the surface reacting to certain deliveries pitched on certain areas. Last ball of the over, there's the edge appeal from the keeper, and there's the finger. The batter knew it as soon as he hit it, and regular Monday blues for anyone, but not for Hamad Azam. He's enjoying his time at Barrington. He's got 2 wickets, 3 overs completed. This is turning out to be a good spell from Hamad Azam. 13 so far. Is given in his 3 overs, 2 wickets collected. 13 overs done. 7 more to go. 81 on board, 5 down. Parthiv Patel striding to the crease. My apologies. Should be Prithvish Patel. Prithvish has got a decent strike rate, striking ball over 136. His highest score has been 86 runs. I've seen from Methanj what he could do. Again, Abhimanyu Postwal ready. Might remind me of the Ashes, the way Abhimanyu is bowling, this, especially this ball taking me to the Ashes where Shane Warne bowled around the legs, the way the surf is helping Postwal. He'd want to optimally utilize, uses his brute force to send the ball to get one. One figure any leg spinner would look up to would be Shane Warne, especially with his sleight of hand, what he would do, the flippers, the googlies, the stock balls, you just name it. The wizard always had it. And now, especially, the name resounding in T20 cricket would be Rashid Khan, who's got a name for himself, worked hard, his dedication and his effort always in his bowling. Nicely looped and flighted. There's the trick, outbeating the batter here. The batsman had no clue what has happened, beating the outside edge. Stumping, good collect from the wicketkeeper. One slip in place. There's the trick. Postwal making it difficult for the batters of Tigers here. Tigers being tamed for 6 wickets. Looks like the Kingsmen here are determined to trounce the Tigers for the 2-time defeats they've received. Too early to say that, but all we can hope and predict. There's no fee involved in predictions. It's just that the cricketing mind always works. The ifs and buts, the possibilities. Deepchand Pinaka taking his mark against the bowler who's performing wizardry here. I'm fascinated to see the ball turn. It is a big turn. What Postwal's getting from the surface. Nicely flighted. They'd want to use the captain again with his 2 overs remaining after has bowled the second over. I'm sure the captain would want to rely on him a little more and call him for another 2 overs because he deserves that the way he is bowling and is using the surface to his very best. Another way, another stump, crying, appealing. There's that thud from the keeper. Somewhere the bowler was in two minds to appeal, but somehow he managed to go in the company of the keeper. Quick hands, quick glove work from the wicket keeper. And you can see the batters and the batting team despised. From here, we can just rely on the umpire's decision and say that the umpire might have thought it was fair to give the batter out. Deep Chand Panaka, after facing three deliveries, will be a long walk to the pavilion. Two overs for Abhimanyu Poswal, 2 wickets and 4 runs. Can improve his bowling statistics and especially improve the winning statistics for Kingsmen. I'm banking on Poswal for another 2 overs because they're already 7 down. The mindset of any lower order batters, especially when the tail is exposed, that they want to take on a spinner. This is a good time. This is a good time to wrap things up for Kingsmen. They're coming with the same taste what Tigers have given them in the past. This has been a collective performance, except for 3 or 4 overs which have gone for most of the runs. But apart from that, the Tigers are in peril right now, especially after Shivam and Mithan's partnership. We haven't seen any reckoning of partnership here. They haven't really got through with any building partnerships here. Bang on target. He darted the ball. The last over, I think with the bowler's mindset, we've seen that a little flurry from Ehsan when the batter tried to come down on him. But Ahmad, especially as a composed bowler, you've seen that temperament, his cool headedness, a very different bowler, short sided run up. This will go away for 4 runs, nicely trickle, taken off the hips, no protection there, smartly utilized the area. Now, this is an exponential factor too. When you know where the fielders are placed, to know to hit the gaps, not where the fielders are, but to know to pick your gaps. Slingy action from Hamad Azam, very different from the other fast bowlers. Usually, few of the bowlers would want to take that momentum and generate the pace and their run ups, but you see that when Hamad's trying to bowl, that he's using his shoulder, and the type of bowlers when they're using their shoulder, you can expect them to bowl a little shorter. It is just the premise which is made for the slingy bowlers that they hit the deck hard. There you see with the ball, whenever he's releasing with the point of release, he's got that hard hitting hand coming down that gives him the extra bounce, extra carry. At times, it takes the batter by surprise as well. It's two more balls before the bowling day ends for Hamad Azam. Straight passing through his outside edge to the wicket keeper. How good the fact we've unnoticed the wicket keeping. How good has the wicket keeping been now for the Kingsmen? Quick hands, two stumps, and a catch, especially when the ball was turning. It's not easy, as the keeper made it seem to us on the screen. Straight back will contain him from taking a run. It's always difficult when the keeper is standing up for a spinner. That outside edge can go anywhere. You have to have your reflexes. So, smart piece of cricket from Kingsman. So far, they haven't got their foot wrong. 15 overs done and dusted. 87 on board with 7 wickets.
It's an impossible shot.
Sometimes creativity and innovation are all it takes to achieve the impossible. Yash Technologies, more than what you think.
Datta Prakash with Justin Dill. Dill's phased maximum deliveries 19 so far and has scored 17. Probably the last phase where Justin may want to start pressing the gas. Tries for the reverse sweep, gets the underpart of the bat. What an electrifying effort from the tall man inside the circle. It's funny always when you see the fast bowling bowlers who are tall put in those type of diving efforts. I think it's changed now, especially when the bowlers when you used to see from the international cricket, everyone saying that it's very rare, seldom the fast bowlers putting in dive, but the fielding tactics, the fielding methods have changed. Everyone's been evolved. Nicely looped, nicely flighted, going downtown. The fielder's there, and 11 out of 10 times, I'm sure Ehsan Adil wouldn't drop that. Another wicket for Abhimanyu Poswal. I'm sure the captain might be hearing us, as the viewers and me as well were expecting Poswal to bowl and complete his quota for the day. 3 overs. What bowling Abhimanyu Poswal is displaying today. Leg spin at its best. Another wicket. Probably Chicago Tigers might have woken on the other side of the bed today. Not the regulars. What we expect the Tigers to do. It is something different from the Kingsmen. Especially with the leg spin, has taken 3 wickets. A confidence was shown in Abhimanyu is stupendous. I'm sure it is quite explicit to everyone the way Abhimanyu is bowling. He has not changed his line, he has not changed the type of flight he's giving to the batter, be it a set batter, be it a new batter. Everyone who's come in, the mindset from the batters have always been to take on him. How about they might have tried to carry a different approach with saying that how about I try to negotiate with him, just let the balls he's bowling pass, and then maybe find one of the other bowlers to get the runs out of them. But the 2 wickets, except for one stumping, you've seen that every batter of the two has tried taking on Abhimanyu. Nicely flighted, his cement is not moving. This will be a test of hand and eye coordination, especially with the movement of foot. Get your salsa shoes on. If you want to play Abhinav, you have to move your feet, especially in this condition. Outside edge, and there it is. Leading edge, Abhimanyu having the last laugh. He is toying with the batters right now. Kingsmen making sure Chicago's lineup falling like a pack of cards. There's nothing wrong, but every batter right now is answerless to the spell Abhimanyu Poswal is bowling. Take a bow, 5 runs and 4 wickets. You don't see that every day in T20 cricket. With 1 wicket, 1 ball to go, I wouldn't be surprised if Abhimanyu is picking another wicket in this over and wrapping up the innings, making it easy for Chicago Tigers for them not to struggle. This is absolutely horrifying to see a batting collapse, especially with that 1 wicket. Initially, we've seen that if we can take a quick synopsis of the innings so far, we've seen a decent start, then a wicket, then the partnership growing from Shivam and Mathanch. There's some fielding change suggested, but then after that, they've really found a hard time for the partnership to grow. Leaves that alone. That ends the over. 3 overs. His bowled 18 balls and just given 5 runs. Nothing in boundaries except for the 5 runs would have been picked in singles. 6 more balls to come from Abhimanyu Poswal. I'm sure the viewers would be ecstatic to see him bowl and the ball performing some tricks. 16 overs done, 88 on board with 1 wicket remaining for Kingsmen to finish the party for Chicago Tigers. Will be a comprehensive victory if the Kingsmen are winning from here, especially the way the bowlers chipped in. There have been little inert efforts from the field, but they've managed well. They've overcome that. The fielding effort has been exceptionally well, especially inside the circle, outside the circle. There have been no miscatches. Display of all round cricket. We've got the speedster Ziaul Haq, the man who started with wickets. The best thing what Chicago Tigers and Calvin Savage would think about is that it's okay, today is not our day, but at least what they can do in the bowling is that have the conditions, make sure that the conditions are in their favor to win. You'd always want your opponent to come strong because that brings out your A game. Some disruption and Zia's run up. He'll want to take his mark again. But let's again reflect on the fact, if we contemplate the way Zia's bowling, is- the boundaries would have come through for Chicago Tigers were down the leg drifting, and the way he's adjusted, would want to push a little too hard. The way he's adjusted to his line in length, that shows how much he's aware of his bowling. He knew that the ball's going down the leg and he had to make changes, especially with the scoring area of the batters. We haven't seen much boundaries coming from the offside. It's just the bat and ball play with the fielders. One factor going back to the whiteboard for Chicago Tigers they'd be thinking upon is that have we collected, have we run between the wickets? Did we have the opportunity to put the ball in the gap? So this is something they'd want to again think about, putting the ball in the gap. Shot of the length has pulled it. There's a fielder in the deep, will allow him to get only one. It is a fact, especially when the wickets are falling from one side, the other non striker would be saying that I've spent a little more time on the crease. He communicates that this is happening, this is bound to happen, but how about we stick on, we play some deliveries, we face some balls and manage our way, figure out a way to score runs. Right in the block hole, as accurate as a dart. A lot of ifs and buts we would think upon, but again, the credit goes to Kingsman bowling and the captain, the way they've utilized. Somewhere I felt that Tajinder Singh might have been used, but every time they've brought in a change that has worked for them. That's the ball pass. And the over ends 17 done, 91 on the loss of 9 wickets. 1 wicket remaining for Kingsmen to take Justin Dill and Yash Patel.
Even the best in the business needs a strategic partner to help them win. Yash Technologies, more than what you think.
I would be so heartbroken to see Abhimanyu Poswal go back without a fifer in a T20 cricket. It would be a great feat for Poswal to achieve against their nemesis. That's put in the gap. What a field. What a great effort from the veteran from Pakistan, Anwar Ali Khan. It is an achievement in itself having that 5 wicket. Let's not forget the fact that it is a team game. He's not just pitching the ball and letting the ball do its own trick. He's look at that. He has to analyze what the batter is doing, and he's doing exactly that. And you have to laud the effort. You have to laud the effort how Abhimanyu is brave enough to pitch the ball up. And this is a lesson for any leg spinner who's coming to bowl, that you need to understand that it is okay to be hit for a six, but bowling to your strength, it is what teaches you to be a bowler. Tried reverse sweep, should be called as a leg bye. Far from here, looks like a bye indeed. A personal preference as viewers as well, you'd say that this is something magical that is happening, and you'd want that extra effort not to go in vain. You want a bowler to reap the fruits. That's baffling, that's quizzical. All you can do is sway your hands in air and see that how the ball is coming, and this man keeping you in that zone, that black hole, without knowing what's happening. Gripping off the surface, it's, I can just see the bowler and the keeper. It's just a body. Looks like Abhimanyu Poswal. They've called him for a session here just to check how well his bowling and has obliged and outperformed other spinners. Very well negotiated. And in the end, Poswal, you have to take a bow. Outstanding, remarkable figure from Abhimanyu Poswal. Take a bow. 7 runs off 4 overs, 4 wickets. He's done the damage. He's eaten half of his side. I'm sure Kingsmen have bought him hungry without breakfast. 18 overs done, 94, 9 wickets, 1 wicket to be taken, 2 overs, 12 balls. If they manage to somehow collect 12 runs, and now odd boundary, they'd be thinking at least 120. Can we get to 120? At least 100 here. At least 100 and 120 to impose and see that what our bowlers can do. The batters can say that we've given you a target, we've set a platform, and then 120, something defendable. You go back to T20 when today we see that the batters, the explosive approach, the dynamic approach, how robust the batters have become, utilizing the power play that sets the tone. Ziaul Haq in his last over, we see that how the batter and the T20 games evolved, but now they know that they haven't utilized the power play, especially one wicket remaining. They're swinging in the danger spot that they want to keep something in the bank for the bowlers to rely on and saying that we can do it, saying that that takes off that mental pressure. How big of a player you are as well, irrespective we talk about mental pressure or no, this is a factor that comes in. This is a baggage. On the pads, yeah, quick on the field, may require some hitting practice. Direct hit, and he would be finishing off the innings. Like buys as the signal from the umpire. If we go back to the initiation of the innings, we would want to think that maybe here or there was a scope that the batters might have taken some calculated risk because wickets falling from one end, the non-striker or the batter or anyone coming from the dugout, that should have been a clear message saying that it is okay if we not score any boundary or runs in 2 overs. How about we know, we examine what's happening on the pitch, and then we take it from there. That could have been one of the factors, but again, T20 is a funny game, especially cricket. You don't know how it turns out. Full toss, there's a question from the batter. All he can do is just wonder and question. Justin Dill, played on by Ziaul Haq, has been super smart pitching. The pace changes. You usually see that when you know that you're an express fast bowler, you'd want to keep up the pace and be menacing to the batter. But here Ziaul Haq has added that flavor, added that touch of variation to his bowling. Has screamed that, has put that in the gap, and he screamed that away for 4 runs. Much needed boundary. They've ended the drought of boundaries here by Justin Dill. Was way too full, gave him the opportunity to extend his arms. And yes, he's collected a boundary, 4 runs. Now remember the fact 100 comes up for Chicago Tigers. We were talking about singles being taken, 2 dots here. Tries to take on again. There'll be some stingy tickle on the fingers for the fielder. Taken one, 4 overs. Ziaul Haq's quota done. 15. He's conceded of 4 overs with 1 wicket contribution to the team made. None other than Ehsan Adil, who will come to finish off the proceedings. I wonder they'd want to go happy and a proud team by finishing off, putting the last nail in the coffin, collecting 1 wicket at least from Justin Dill or Yash Patel. We're almost ready to begin the last over. Ehsan Adil, 2 overs, 9 runs. When you see his tenure with MI New York as well, Shot of the length, pulled across. Fielder in place. What surprises me as a bowler, how often can you do it? If it's done once, you can say that it is fluke. Two times skill, three times it takes character, but fourth time you'd say that he's habituated. He's habituated to the taste his got. Again in MI New York as well, in the MLC Major League Cricket, when the cricketers who are circuiting from the world who were here, he bowled a maiden with a wicket. It sounds funny, he makes it look so easy, but it is not bowling a maiden in a T20 game, especially when you know that the margin for error is very minuscule. Dragged on, some football skills. There's a lot to learn from all of the other sports, and cricket, especially being one of the fastest growing sports in North America, having especially MILC being the catalyst, bringing on the Major League Cricket, the global stars, gives us the opportunity to enjoy and relish what this big game, and the learnings we can take from cricket. Has gone high. Has he gone handsome enough? It's high, fielder converging, and he's not going to drop. That said, 103 and 10 wickets. And see that shot of the length again. That's where Ehsan Adil has operated most of the times in today's innings. He held his shape, but not the best of the bat. And a wicket. That said, from the first innings, 103, and they've wrapped Chicago Tigers, taming them for 10 wickets. Justin Dill is who falls. 104 is what will be required for the Kingsmen to win. Looks like they will be embarking on a journey and changing the lure to one winning streak against two with Chicago Tigers. First ball right on the money, thuds onto the pad. Ziaul Haq clipped nicely, they'll run away for four. Nicely, his eyes lit up as soon as he saw the ball full. Takes on straight down the ground. Will it be the first maximum? We'll have to wait for the signal from the umpire. Looks like a pretty solid shot. Takes on, goes big, high, and handsome. Tries some innovation, but perishes here. Not seeing the fine leg inside the circle. Wanted to go. Tries some innovation, but perishes here. Not seeing the fine leg inside the circle. Wanted to go the line and the length you want to bowl. That was a gift. That was a gift. And Shivam obliges to the gift and gets 4 runs. A full toss. That's a gift. He could have hit that anywhere, absolutely anywhere, and has managed to belt. Flicked away well. The pace on Ehsan's bowling. Going back to the strength. But the strength here for the batter is playing on the rise here. Has absolutely been scintillating. That's a full toss. Straight over the head. This will run away for another 4 runs. Nicely pulled across. Nicely pulled across. Over. Nothing to lose. Flighted one. Nicely flighted. Will be the first one. And the spinner does the trick. For a finger spinner. That's a beauty. A peach of a delivery. Looks like they've got hold of the batter here. When in doubt, get the broom out. Reverse sweep. Gets him 4 runs. Bowling spell better. Get sweep out again. Is sweeping them well. This is something the captain and the bowler would scratch. Oh, has belted that. Is it going away? Going away to the fielder here. Last ball of the over. There's the edge. Appeal from the keeper. Nicely looped and flighted. There's the trick. Outbeating the batter here. The batsman had no clue. Best. Another way, another stump. A very different bowler. Short-sided run-up. This will go away for 4 runs. Nicely trickled. Nicely looped, nicely flighted, going downtown. The fielder's there, and 11 out of 10 in this condition. Outside edge, and there it is. Leading to his bowling. Has screamed that. Has put that in the gap, and he screamed that away for 4 runs. Has gone high. Has he gone handsome enough? It's high, fielder converging, and he's not going to drop.
Technologies.
Welcome back after a hiatus to the innings number second between Chicago Tigers and Chicago Kingsmen. Justin Dill opening. We're up and away with the dot. A good bounce and good carry to the wicket keeper. He'll try all the tricks in his book. That's the first bounce signal to the bowler by the umpire. The opening pair, Ramiz Raja and Anshul Bist. A top order batter. No surprise seeing Ramiz Raja against Justin Dill. Down the leg, they should be pretty aware of the fact that they haven't got much runs. White plus extra, this will sting them. Sort of the innings. Not going to give you viewers an ominous speech saying what they are to do, but a lefty and righty combination. A very conventional start by Kingsman. Having them, you'd want to use your right-handers and left-handers. Anshul Best, who's also played for Seattle Thunderbolts, has been now traded to Kingsmen. Changes made, slip in position. To remind you, 6 overs power play, only 2 fielders outside the circle. And that's away from the second slip. Good work from the sweeper at third man. They need those heroics from the fielders now. Every run has to be treated like life and death here, especially when you have a low scoring game, when you've not set a target for the opposition. Defending always gets tricky, especially when Ramiz Raja, who scored 133 for Sindh in 2019 against Balut second, he can give the teams those nice steady starts. That's a no ball. It'll just rub salts on their wounds here. Everything happening for Chicago Tigers. He overstepped the line. Justin Dill, not the day, not the type of start they would be expecting. 6 and over. Cleaned up, but that wouldn't matter. That will not matter. Tried playing against the line. The batter somewhere would be a little too greedy and say that I might have played him with the line and tried at least to get one run off it. You can see there on the replay how he tried playing him against the line and knocked him over. Anyone who's watching cricket for the first time will want to know that the bowler who's overstepped the line from the umpire's side had to ball again. And just because has bowled the no ball, batter gets a chance to play his favorite stroke without costing his wicket. That's what happened with Raja here. Tall man, great action. The way Justin Dill releases his ball, top of his head, that depths down. At times it gets difficult for the batter to spot on. Just with the fact for Anshul Bist, how the ball flew from second slip. They've got one slip in position, soft hands tucked off, will scamper, hurry, and they've rushed well. 1 over done, 6 runs on board.
It's an impossible shot.
Sometimes creativity and innovation are all it takes to achieve the impossible. Yash Technologies, more than what you think.
This is the time for Captain Calvin Savage as well to experiment. The worst what is going to happen, they know as well, not to undermine the ability of the Chicago Tigers, how well they can be and bring the game from the jaws of defeat. It's just that this is the time for Captain Savage to also try to experiment and see that, especially when the way he got second slip, that that depicts that he's trying too hard to get the breakthrough. And the only factor, the only contributing factor to winning is taking wickets. Straight up, signs of swing, windy conditions at Barrington, especially when you are facing the bowlers who have the skill to swing laterally, can go anywhere. They may want to release it, just not try too hard with his wrist position upright, having that first slip. The batter would know that the bowler will also be pitching the ball up. Make That's how it is, forcing him to drive. When we talk, when we are discussing about having, trying everything or experimenting with everything they have, the results for Chicago Tigers are going to be empirical based on the experiments they're going to try. On the pads, without trying, Tigers will not know. And he's got a wicket. For a minute, I thought that it stuck on his pad. An early breakthrough, what was needed for Savage and team. Absolutely ruthless. Batter covering the stumps. Blinded me and has taken off. What a ball that was, swinging in for the left-hander. The batter was as surprised as me as a commentator who had no clue where the ball went. It took a little while for me to understand what has happened here. I was surprised to see Calvin not appealing, but the part here you can see that is that ball protruding and hitting the stump, and it just did not hit the stump, uprooted it. Captain leading from front. This is going to be the game, that is how it will define in the direction the team is going to head. Three times Kingsmen played against Tigers. One time the game was abandoned, two times they were answerless. Probably this is the game they'd want to come up with an answer towards Tigers, and Savage would not want that record to go bad. The reason why I say is that these type of games, when you know that you're on the verge somewhere between fighting situation, you don't know if the victory is going to belong to you, if you're winning or losing. These type of games define, build that aura, give that confidence to the team. And when you are in a situation, especially in 2022, when Tigers played semifinals, this moment can be in 24. They'd want to repeat that in minor league cricket 2024. Going to the qualifiers, what they've done in 2022, saying again, the captain giving that pep talk, saying, remember, team, how we've played, defended a low scoring target, which was lower than the balls were to bowl. And we've done that wonder, and we still can do it. This is a match defining moment here. How Calvin Savage will lead the team. It's Cricket's not a one man game. It has to bring in the energy from other 10 fielders, especially for the bowler, and you have to support. If it had to do that, only a one man's game,
I'm sure there are going to be few stellar innings. You'd say that because of this one person, we've won the game. Especially you can go back to 2024, the innings what Aaron Jones played against Canada. You can say that he was the lone man standing, but remember that the team support on the non-strikers and they were not losing wicket, so that helped him. That gave him the liberty. A wild swing going to the keeper that gave him the liberty to play. An over ended, a maiden wicket for Calvin Savage after 1 over, 2 overs done, 6 runs on board with 1 wicket down.
Even the best in the business needs a strategic partner to help them win. Yash Technologies, more than what you think.
Justin Dill to continue his hoik that. Has he hoiked that well? Fielder chasing and will have to give up as the ball's too quick to sweep away into the boundary. Using full face of the bowler. Nicely pulled away. Got into position way quickly. Not that menacing. Faraz Ali, who's going to accompany Ramiz Raja. As an opener, you are to be ready, especially for that swinging and that bounce is coming towards you. Got something flying away. The umpire's got into the pocket. The extra support. Taken off the pads, keeper up. And still they managed to sneak a single. What a kind gesture by the umpire. Still, the players at times be very hard there. How a gentleman has just kept that in the pocket. But that look at the single quickly taken. The response from the non-strikers end was as agreeable to the striker. Two slips. Oh, that must have hurt him. That really must have hurt him. Two slips, a bouncer. Faraz Ali had no time to duck. It's not a good side. It's not a good ball to face, especially from a fast bowler, a type of Justin Dill. Bells might be ringing in his ear. Let's see how he reciprocates. 11 straight after that blow. He's got his man. Faraz Ali is the man who will go back to the pavilion. Somewhere he was browbeaten by that bouncer, and Calvin Savage comes into action again, takes a wonderful catch at second slip. 2 wickets. Early breakthrough. The demand has been fulfilled by the veteran from Washington Freedom. Just with the captain who has been bought back in 2024 for Chicago Tigers, has done the trick. Looks like we are about to witness a match. Faraz Ali, after taking blow, goes back, leaving Ramiz Raja stranded. This is cricket at its best, fast bowling, enjoying first innings. This is what minor league cricket brings you, the talent, the potential, and especially the heroics of the players. They know that somewhere they have to bring the best game out Today, every day you'd see something different. First innings, how different the innings has turned out to be here. First innings, you'd say that this is a spinner's wicket somewhere. This has to be a spinner's wicket because Abhimanyu, the type of play has ployed against the batters of Chicago Tigers, you'd say that the track is turning. It's all about spinners here. But somewhere the wild card is taken by Justin Dill and Calvin Savage from Tigers. It's like it's okay. We will stick on to our strength. We'll operate with paces and result given by wickets. That's a good bounce. Syed Ali, you batter having no data on him. Looks like a very convincing player. These moments of patience is required, especially taken off his hips. Will send down, and the pace does the trick here. He did not try to overhead the ball, just stroked away. And there's some words of exchange. Maybe he is hinting towards the bowler. This is going to be a fiery match here. Get some popcorn from the couches you're sitting and just lay back and enjoy. 2 overs done, 15 of the 2 overs Justin Dill's bowl on board. We've got 15 as well. 2 wickets. Syed Ali with Ramiz Raja. 3 overs already finished of power play. Halfway of power play, we are here. 15 on board. Strong figure. Ramiz Raja is taking his mark, setting himself up. It depends on the type of stance as well. If you're opening up that leg side of if the leg side of yours got too carried away, especially with the stance Raja's got for himself, if you're opening that up, that means that you're somewhere ready for the bouncer being bowl and gives you access towards the leg side. Full toss, get straight. They're taking all the risks available. And that's one type of trick you pressurize the bowling team because you're getting easy singles. The fielders may want to do something extra from their side that results in a mistake, and you make them pay the price. You've got a second slip. Change is suggested for the left-hander. They're still carrying on with the right and left hand combination. That's good to see. Swinging, you can see that shape. Good release from Calvin Savage. A little too full to make him play. Having second slip in. Might be some disturbance from the side screen suggesting. But again, what a facility, what a day to be at Barrington. 24 degrees, nice and warm, breezy, not too hot, not too humid. They're enjoying their cricket game as we are from our own respective places, especially for the viewers. This is an exciting opportunity how the technology has evolved with our special thanks to our presenting partners, Yash Technologies. It used to be that the games are only broadcasted on the television or you had to go to watch them live, but look at how things have been evolving. That's how time changes. That's how the game of cricket is as well. Very fast, very fluid, very liquid. It just absorbs. You're having some pause here for the game before we play. with two wickets somewhere they'd want to go back and think about the approach. I would say that a wicket fallen before that one wicket, still the Kingsmen would be like probably try and experiment the batters who hadn't got chance, especially with the first game. With the first game, they've got a whole lot of opportunity, ample of opportunities here. Swing and a miss. That's a good sign for the fast bowler. Seeing the shape away, it's too quick. $104 to be chased down, which is less than five and a half and over. 87 is required. An easy single to pick, and they fulfill. Now it just depends that how a left-hander is having a second slip, and they're not having a slip. It's more about the natural angle of Calvin Savage, how he takes away, how he takes away the ball from the left-hander. We've seen balls swinging. Probably he may want to drag a little far. There you go. There's an appeal. There's an appeal crying. Something from Pad. Sure, the umpire must have heard something that was from Pad. But great unison in the team. How they are appealing all together. You can see their hands raising, everyone going, trying to pressure, trying to put some pressure on the umpire. But good call. He knew as soon as the ball went to keeper's pouch. Up front, surprised by the bounce. That ends another over. 18 on board for 2 wickets. 4 overs done.
It's an impossible shot.
Sometimes creativity and innovation are all it takes to achieve the impossible. Yash Technologies, more than what you think.
At times I'm astounded by the type of cricket what is played in minor league cricket 2024, because we've seen all-round performances. Will Hurry direct hit? Yes, he makes. They're living on the edge and they are enjoying every moment here, Kingsman. Manus maketh man. Would that be for the Chicago Tigers? Would they be making the man out of them, or just another defeat for them? The Kingsmen, I did not know that the Kingsmen established a partnership. I knew that they established a partnership with the Statesmen, but having it grow to a cricket team, interesting. Hope they're not running an espionage with the spies in the teams here. Very interesting. Tried to cut away inside part of the bat from the swell. Will give him nothing. Again, bringing on the topic of how astounding it is to see cricket grow, especially from 2021. We've come to 2024, minor league cricket. One thing what's been in common is just growth. Comes down the track, adjustment made to the length, smartly picked up by the bowler. Wanted to keep it short, but as soon as he's seen the batter come down the track, he made change. It's just not growth for respective league, but also as an individual player, because when we see players who've taken mark from minor league cricket, the likes of Smith Patel, Aaron Jones, Harmeet Singh, how the league has opened the door for international talent as well. Players from South Africa, players from South Asian countries, Pakistan, India, Bangladesh, West Indies, the Caribbean flavor. This is about the opportunity of all growth. As a player as well, there's nothing better to launch yourself going against the best, except for the minor league. Pushed well. Has he picked the gap? Has beaten the fielder. There's a sweeper to give him just 2 runs. With 1 ball remaining, 5 runs so far of the over. 3 overs. Justin Dill has given 21 wicket picked up alongside the skipper, Calvin Savage. Somewhere desperately looking for wicket here. If not, the game will be regulated on the terms and conditions of Kingsmen and will be far too over. Comes on forward. Good response. We haven't seen any lazy calls from the batters running between the wickets. That ends the over. 5 done, 24 on the loss of 2 wickets. Ramiz Raja batting on 10 of 12 and Sayyid Ali on 9 of 9. Not too bad, but looking at run rate, they want to extend that, pull that a little ahead, because right now the current run rate, what is sitting for the team, what is to be chased is under 5, under 6. My apologies. It is 5.33. 5.33. That means they require 5 and over. Anything extra will be icing on the cake. Just 1 over will set the tone after the field being opened up after the power play. Has taken the aerial route, chipped up, could not time it well, stayed in the field. Because as soon as the field is opened after the power play, remember only 2 players outside the circle, but once it is open, you can have 5 fielders outside the circle. That opens up door ajar for the players to collect more singles. So scoreboard will be ticking. Going down, shape coming away. This is what we were talking a second ago about a wide. Anything extra, and if they're able to get 5 runs and over, this is going to be an easy pick, an easy game, easy battle for Kingsmen against Tigers. Good running between the wickets. Is it an overthrow? Will remain. He's not happy. We can talk about core as well. Reflecting upon conditions windy, some tricks and high jumps over the pitch. We haven't seen the batters click. You haven't seen really anyone click except for Mathanch and Shivam. There were few flares from the other batters, but they did not go too well, except for a couple of boundaries coming in the end from Justin Dill's bat. Not far, not too far with the current run rate. They are on 5.09. Just need 5 and over to seal the game. and start their odyssey with a win. Good shape again, pays respect, misfield. Absolutely not acceptable from Savage, not from any of the viewers, because with a low scoring game, this is a bound rule. This is a hard rule, which remains intact, which is non negotiable for anyone. That fielding has to remain concrete. If you have to make it complex for the batters, it's just how your fielders respond to you. You need that extra support. Remember, we're talking about cricket being not a one man sport. The, this is this is the context we were talking about. If you don't get the right support from the fielders, how are you going to win? In the end, takes his bat away, discards the shot he wants to play, a bounce. I think it would be too harsh for me not to give the credit to the batter the way Sayyid Ali and Ramiz Raja is batting. We've seen Savage utilize that good channel, 8 meter length, good length, what we call, trying to take the ball. But any good delivery, they haven't taken a rash shot. Trying to drive, gets away, and that ends the over. Not too happy, Calvin Savage. 3 overs done for him. He remains with 1 over, 1 wicket that is taken, 8 runs is conceded. With the overall team score 29 for the fall of 2 wickets. 6 overs done, power play completed. Looks like we're here to see some spin. This is where the ship of Tigers was stuck, courtesy Abhimanyu. Got a slip in place for the finger spinner. The left arm, and they've made their ground way too quickly. They have to come up. Come on. Let's have the mindset, especially where the batters are able to take easy singles. This is something that says that to the captain and the fielders, especially the man who's standing behind the stumps to regulate, saying that we cannot let them take any easy singles here, because any easy singles, you're not able to build the pressure. There's no compilation of pressure on the batters here. They're easily making sure that they're getting what is required from an over, and they are off the pressure. They're breathing easily. Now, if you want to strangle them, there's something that you would want the fielders to stand a little up, have a little aggressive approach. Nicely looped, nicely flashed. That goes running to the fence. Will be a long chase, and the fielder cuts well. Because at least if someone's taking the single inside the circle, the batter, if he's able to take that, that again puts puts the responsibility on individual fielders to know their game, that okay, this is something that I can do creative, this is something that I can do it from my end, that maybe he's able to take a single, I'll start walking down the leg, pulls across, gets one. Datta Prakash is a left-handed off spinner. He's got 26 wickets in 24 innings. His best bowling figures 24 for 4 wickets. 4 wickets for 24 runs. Economy under 8, which is still convincing in a T20 game, 7.89. They are in dire need of his best bowling figure today. Chicago Tigers would be looking up to Datta Prakash. Capable, but required. Full toss could have hit anywhere. Got away cheaply. It is a cardinal sin for a spinner to bowl a no ball or a full toss. So, as a fielder in place, it's like a gift. As a spinner, we would be going a little back and forth, especially for a leg spinner. I know that the attribute is different from Abhimanyu Poswal's bowling to an off spinner. You not compare the type of attribute they both have, but especially the areas we can measure. With the trajectory being bold, it is more flatter because you see the batter he's pulling, but to play how Abhimanyu Poswal was bowling, he had to wait. He had to wait for eternity and then make the decision to play. When you see Prakash bowling, it's slightly flatter. The batter is trying to pull, but if he's trying to bowl flatter, that means he'll have to be a little quicker, just like Jadeja uses in his attack. Much flighted. This is better. Leading edge will be chased down by the fielder here. Saves 2 runs. That ends the over. 8 of the over. 37 after 7 overs. 2 wickets. Raja comfortable on 16 runs of 17 balls. Sayyad Ali 15 of 16.
Even the best in the business needs a strategic partner to help them win. Yash Technologies, more than what you think.
Looks like we have to see some change again in the bowling with Vineet Sinha, right arm medium, will bowl around the wicket for the left hander. But also, it gets a little difficult. It gets hard for the batter to adjust against a left hander and the right hander. I'd say the smart chess move made by the Kingsmen captain here to keep the combination on for the righty and the left hander. That gives some time. Oh, has taken him off by the surprise. How well is that for the first delivery? You could just see the batter flying off his toes. Now, what I want to see that you'd say that the commentator is slightly on the aggressive side, but as a fast bowler, what gives you joy, what gives you immense pleasure, is that seeing that batter hopping, that 2015 Wahab Riaz spell to Shane Watson, Ahsan Adil being on the same side for Pakistan in quarterfinals. That was the spell. That's why you might say that. The, but as a fast bowler, that's your attribute. You're attuned to give that fiery spells to your team, I think. But what do our viewers think? Especially with the right hander coming in, that middle line, the length would be the 12 meters, and then comes your shoulder that you would put some pressure on. Vinit Sinha, with the first ball his bowled, has shown us some signs. A lot of movement here for Tigers and Kingsmen. They've tried keeping the core same. They've tried bringing the new brigade who can play to the same core values of their team and they built, especially with 2022 performing in semi-finals. Tigers would want to march again into that qualifiers. And a good fact for the Central Division teams, is that the pool table is still wide open, going to Super 6. 8 teams constituted in Central Division. Anyone thinking, oh, the fun happens only down south and the South Division, let me take let me walk you through. Let me take you to the table how it looks like. Houston Hurricanes played 4 matches. They've won 2, lost 1, and there's no result for 1. St. Louis Americans, they've played 3, 2-1, and they've lost 1, sitting at second position. Lone Star Athletics, nicely fired into the block hole. We've seen so far a Yorker, we've seen a bouncer from Vineet Sinha. Can we see a wicket with he trying? Because the Tigers are in need of wicket. Who can be the rainmaker for the team here? Anyone answering the call? Anyone? Moses in Egypt for Tigers here. Dallas Giants sitting on fourth position. But Lone Stars Athletics as well. They've got all the ones with 4 matches they've played. They've won 1, they've lost 1, there's no result, they've tied 1. So it's Dallas Giants who've played 3 matches, won 1 and lost 1. But Michigan Stars at bottom of the table, fifth position. Nicely flicked away. Great use of wrist. That will run away to 4 runs. Has timed that beautifully into the gap. You can see him not overhitting the ball, just stroking away. It's just coaxed to the destination. It's not about brute force here. It's about timing and how aesthetic you can make the shot look. And that is what Syed Ali is doing. 20 of 20. They're not in rush. They're taking it comfortably, piece by piece. And smart cricket. After the boundary, they've taken one. And just with fellowship, what goes on in cricket, so that Michigan cricket stars are not sitting alone at the bottom of the table. Soon, one of the teams will join Michigan stars. But so far, 8 overs completed, 44 on board, with 2 wickets. Ramiz Raja batting on 17 and Syed Ali on 21. 60 required. Datta Prakash will continue his spell. There's a cry. He's pleading his lungs out. The umpire, unmoved, unshaken, he would be surprised. Again, not going into the ifs and buts. Will take a hawkeye to identify from far from the area. But I presume the call was made rightly because the umpires, I believe, presses forward. This is much better from the spinner from the very first over. Has learned early. Now this is how you can trap the batter. There's a word from the skipper. Bring him forward, press him forward, ask him to hit you over the fielders. A spinner, are you courageous enough? Are you've got the gut enough? Are you gutsy to take me on? Nicely flighted. Little too full. There's a fielder there. Different set of captaincy, different set of the coaching approaches for the coaches who impart training, who enlighten the players, but especially with the type of coaches just like Gautam Gambhir, Ricky Ponting, it's either black or white. You either are aggressive, you either are complacent. You know the game. You're not stuck between the two, black and white. You're not stuck in the gray area. There comes a big heave and heaves it for 6 runs, I presume. And yes, the first of the second innings, only the second of the complete match. Ramiz Raja going down on the knee and showing his power skills here. 6 runs to collect off the deep mid wicket. Can we have some new balls? I think it's lost in the woods. That shot, Datta Prakash. Now, question again to the viewers who are watching: should he be bowling on the same length, probably a little shorter? Should he pull back and ask the batter to hit? I don't think that's a good approach if he's dishing it up, but I think it was dished a little too up and he served and enjoyed the dish from Datta Prakash. They also bring 50 with that Mammoth 6 from Ramiz Raja. It gets confusing at times, players wearing different jerseys, different jersey numbers, because there's a lot of a factor of luck that also comes into play. Everyone has that superstition that you raise your collar up for the bowlers, you get your wickets wearing the same socks, wearing the same gloves, having the same pattern, having no numbers. But everyone has a different ethos. Much better with one ball remaining. The run rate stepped down, slided to 4.75 required. Cuts away, has put that fast hands into work, and that'll run away to the boundary. Fast hands from Ramiz Raja is showing all around that he can hit all around the park. Moves across, slicing away. Any batter who's playing cut, that's how you'd want to reach to the pitch of the ball and play. But 2 overs done. Datta Prakash being expensive on a second one. 11 of the over, 40, 41, 49 required of 11. 55 on board. Kingsmen are cruising currently. There is no speed breaker unless someone marks them up with something special. Vineet Sinha. For the viewers, who would the captain go to The spinners are being belted. The fast bowlers, they have been taken off. But who should the bowler go to? I think for the bowlers right now, the safe place is only their dugout. Yash Patel, confident young bowler. I think it'll be a spin, right arm off spin. They've got a slip in place. I think this should be a good counter here for a left-hander. Usually, an orthodox spinner, you'd expect the ball to come into you, but for a left-hander, the ball goes away. That's why they've got that slip. Now, will he be complying to the field the captain set for him? Now, for the batter to play into that direction, he would either have to play against the line, putting himself on the back foot, or come forward with a little on the fourth and fifth stump. That's the line, and it is about persistence. How well the bowler would control his nerve, not falling into the pit for collecting wicket and trying something folly. That's a good turn. Not a bad ball for Yash Patel to test the batter. And now the captain as well from Tigers should be supporting the bowler right now from the keeper as well. At times, when we look at the innings for Kingsmen as well, how often do the keepers go unsung? Taken away, bunted off the pads. Apart from captain, I think I also believe that keepers are the seeing eyes for the captain because they stand behind the stumps and they have that extra edge apart from the captain to know what's happening, what is the batter up to, what is the movement, and how the batting stance is, and accordingly he can guide the bowler. Especially when you see the big names, one of the greatest of the games, you can see that Mahendra Singh Dhoni, or you can see Adam Gilchrist as well, how they used to regulate and support the bowlers and the captain behind the stumps. Nicely flighted. There should be a fielder in place there at the long on. Because when you go back there as well, you cannot forget Mark Boucher, one of the greatest of the wicket keepers. How they used to function the game from where they are standing, giving their insights to the captain, the bowler. That makes it easy. That makes it easy, especially when you know what the batter is doing. When you're able to get into the batter's head, you can't say that to Adam Gilchrist or Mark Boucher, but surely Rishabh Pant. He takes on he goes big. Is at maximum? Yes, he gets another one. No doubt, everybody knew on their screens and on the ground that as soon as he connected, where that's going for half a dozen. Go fetch it. End of the over. 8 runs off Yash Patel's over. 63 after 10. 41 required and 60 deliveries. 4.10. Different batting styles, right? From the openers, we see that everyone has their own set of technique. There's no right or wrong technique, especially at a game which is so wide open. The game itself is a bigger teacher. Whipped away. Let's put that in the gap. Looks like that. And whipped well. Ah, Yeah, you can just say that the way he's timing the ball, you, you can feel that it might just go to the fielder, but the timing is at its best. That even the worst of the deliveries will go away to the boundary. 4 more runs for Kingsmen, and the game looks like it's slipping away, and the viewers may say that it's almost slipped from the Tigers. Using pace of Sinha here. It's just more about steering the ship, right? When you're sailing a boat and the wind's helping you, why try something additional? Why try something extraordinary? Something that Ramiz Raja showed us uh, and on the previous delivery. The ball had the pace. It's just that time it to perfection, and he used his perfect wrist to do that. It's more about knowing your strengths, knowing about your technique. Pushes that up front. Slight misfield from the fielder, and now Sayyid Ali comes back for the second one. Good overall cricket from Kingsmen. I would say a good half start, but what makes it great is the way they're carrying it. 6.57, and every odd ball they're picking boundary and tugged. And the standout factor here is, for me especially, is the frequency of the singles and the doubles and the strike rotated. How much did we see in Tiger's innings? How much did we see, especially on the tracks which are spinner friendly? The ball started coming well, the conditions were breezy at the beginning, but this is not a different surface for the Kingsmen. Assessing better, and that has helped them. Now, one good thing here they can take from this game, Tigers, with that they try their bowlers and say that keep your chin up and start bowling to your strengths. Even if we lose, it doesn't matter. We are here to give them a fight, and we've given a good fight. He flicked away. Has he flicked that well? And yes, he has. Ramiz Raja currently dealing in boundaries. 4 runs. Looks like we're having an expo, a fest of boundaries here. How stylish an individual can get shows this man on screen. Great still position of the head. End of the over, 17 of Sinha's 2 overs. Has given 10 runs of this over, 73 on board, 11 overs completed, 31 required of 9 overs. Now you see that Ramiz's scorecard started changing. As an opener, he took it slow. Is going a mile deeper in the game. As we are progressing, he has started to accelerate, and his runs have started to come more than the balls his face. With Sayyid Ali as well, how good as a player, as a mindset of a player is of Sayyid Ali, because Ramiz on on other side is taking the onslaught. But what Sayyid Ali is doing is that every odd ball is finding that it is in his zone, is putting it away, but if not, he's just making sure the strike is back to Ramiz. We're about to see another over start, and should see that's Yash again. They're going with the conventions. That kept low. very, very low. This was the second one. Good directed. This was the second ball of the innings. From the complete two innings, we've seen that has stayed low. But so far, the wicket's good and has to be given to the fraternity of minor league cricket that everywhere you go, anywhere, the pitches are very different. It's not one surface that you're batting it if you as if you're batting on a cement track where everything is normal. Moves across, taking it taking it up from his pads because every different area you go to, you see a different thing. Especially where on your screens, you might see that the surface looks a little with red soil. It seems like red soil, especially red soil has that nature to give more turn. If you might have seen the international matches with Mumbai or anywhere in Pakistan, that subcontinent track that gives you the extra turn, and it is good for cricket to grow, especially here in Church Street as well. You see that the track is very flat and a good deck for batting. So this is a great platform, great opportunity. All the doors are open from the fraternity, cricket fraternity. Cricket is just growing in North America. Was like a paddle sweep, but just yes, no, and they make it finally. This could have been the only blemish today I can find in Kingsman's batting is that the only call, and I think they have to get away with that for the fantastic batting they've done so far in the day. Leaves it, and they know the batters of Kingsmen know that they've got a lot of balls coming up. They're not in rush. Off the back foot deflected. Should give him at least one. That finishes off the over. 12 done, 78 for 2. 5 coming off Yash Patel's over.
It's an impossible shot.
Sometimes creativity and innovation are all it takes to achieve the impossible. Yash Technologies, more than what you think.
3.25 in an over. 8 overs seems like a far cry for Tigers to win this game. It's all Kingsmen from the beginning. Regular intervals, they've cracked the wicket. They've caused fissures for the batting of Tigers. Now with the batting, they've just made sure that they've bolstered their partnership, enriching, making sure the partnerships are feeded off the right deliveries and absorbing the right nutrients. Okay, just a trivia. Would the Kingsmen be thinking that how about we give a little treat to the viewers and finish this off with sixes? Four sixes, five sixes, and an over? Ah, just kidding. He's taken off. This one will run away to the boundary. Maybe they are answering my cries here. With the boundary, has stayed tall. Can you imagine a person making shots look this easy using his wrist? Ouch, my wrist hurts. Has guided that really well, exquisitely. They've got 4 of 26 what was needed. Deepchand Pinaka. This couple of overs apart from wickets. The body language speaks a lot. It speaks a lot about the teams, the body language. Flashy drive up ahead to the covers. as a team, as the viewers, what you would say or see is that how the body language of a player is, how would they respond to certain situation. We know that there was very less on board for Tigers to defend, but they've come strong on the initial overs with the power play, and it started to fade out. But it's more about consistency. Goes down the track, straight hit at the bowler. With his follow through, he could not hold on to it. More about consistency to the players. When they are coming, they know, they understand that they've put their foot wrong, but on the other side of the coin, they've got an opportunity to rectify things, ir- irres- irrespective, taking into consideration about winning factor. How about we go there, we put our best game and put a hard fight to see what we can do. Easy singles, and they're running well. Singles hasn't been a problem for Kingsmen here. Runs haven't come from only one facet. They've touched all the facets of the game: ones, twos, boundaries, sixes. So batting isn't a problem, especially when the league can go long, 8 games when an individual team has to play. And it looks like they're going to change what the history was. History will be rewritten here by Kingsmen, especially with the two losses that have come in with them against Tigers. So look, a formidable side with the game one they've displayed. Nicely flicked away. Finally, a respite in the last moments for Tigers. He picks out on a fielder. Nothing wrong here. One mistake and results in a wicket. He picked up a fielder. No mistakes this time from the outfield, sending Syed Ali off his well-made 37. Has done the part. Has done the damage, and is going back proud to the pavilion. He should be happy of what he's done comfortably, making sure that his team will be crossing the line. That brings on to the spin sensation, one of the other spin sensation who picked 2 wickets in one of his overs, Tejinder Singh. That's where the momentum shifted. That's where the game changed for the Kingsmen against Tigers. Those 2 wickets are to be the crucial part, are to be the point of turn for me. Deepchand Pinaka with 1 wicket. Gets on a little to warm up for Tejinder Singh for the circuitous league that is supposed to happen over the period of months. Straight away, wasting no time, gets off the mark. Ends the over, 1 over done. Deepchand Pinaka off his first over, 1 wicket that is made, and 7 runs given. 85 in total for Chicago Kingsmen. 19 required in 7 overs. 42 balls in 19. Ramiz Raja batting on 41 of 31. Has controlled the tempo of the game, making the right shot selection. Becomes important, especially for a batter on a surface like this. when it's turning to make good shot selection, because that's how you are gauged as a batter. Slaps back to the fielder. Still got a slip in position. They may be expecting here for at least 1 or 2 wickets so that they can put some pressure at least. This is good bowling from Datta Prakash. He's gone wicketless today so far. Straight down the ground, straight to the fielder. And not long after we've said that, he's gone wicketless. And the batter knew immediately. Datta Prakash with 1 wicket finally has got his name on the board and contributed to the team. 4 wickets down. Did the Tigers give up a little too early? Or are we to see a collapse here from Kingsmen? Brings out Hamad Hamza, who's collected 3 wickets today, who was super economical with his bowling. We'll want to see that this partnership finishes off things. Hamad and Ramiz. They're trading at 6.30 and over. Keeping on the left and right combination is what I would admire from the team. But now both the right-handers here, except with when the wicket for Sayyid Ali had fallen, but that brought out another right-hander, Tajinder, and now Hamad Azam as well. I think the string broken for the left and right combination here. So this will be a sigh of relief for Tigers, not to move too much. Nicely lubed front of his pads. Bowling it from a wider angle to the wicketkeeper's gloves. They'll have to enjoy. They'll have to let loose of themselves and not control the outcome. What they can do is, again, creating the best. Believing in the process, moves across, puts that away, and will get one. Could have been a maiden with a wicket, but that'll be only given. The feat will be only given to Calvin Savage today on the very first over that he bowled with a wicket and a maiden. Datta Prakash completes his 3rd over, and overall we're seeing at 86 of 4 wickets, 14 done, 18 required of 36 balls.
Even the best in the business needs a strategic partner to help them win. Yash Technologies, more than what you think.
Very minimal ask of 18 runs, 3 and over. If they are prolonging, somehow the Tigers find a way to function to keep them away from the victory. So tall to cut, and we'll have to wait to get off the strike, Hamad Azam. How about let me spoil the party? How about I presume or anticipate that a Nova would be a maiden that brings up to 30 balls and 18 runs and a wicket falling somewhere they bring on top. The Tigers come on top. Would be an unrealistic ask, but cricket is a funny game. You don't know what would happen, especially the type of games we've seen in 2024 T20 World Cup. We have to know that anything can happen at any juncture in cricket. Any team getting too comfortable, that's when they are to realize that the game's flying or slipping away from them. Trying for the direct hit, will have to come back for the second one. An overthrow. An overthrow will prove costly. That'll give them 5 runs. I presume a five. Will have to check because they've completed one and then they've got a boundary. Oh dear. It just gets worse for the Tigers here. Still awaiting the confirmation to check if it was a 4 run or a 5 run. Oh, that is a good one. That is good smell of the leather for Hamad. My apologies, Ramiz. Yes, indeed, it was a 5 run. Cuts away. Cuts well. We are quick to resolve any interruptions as quick as Hamad's fast cutting hands. Again, the pioneers, the fraternity of minor league cricket that's been efficient with the operations has to go for scheduling such matches where high octane you can see the skills, sportsmanship from the players, nicely firm punch off the back foot brings them into 90s. Rami's batting of 44. We'll have to see will he be able to complete his half century mark, but most importantly, what would be there in his mind would be to take his team across the line while he's standing there. The six remaining, two required in an over, 10 runs just needed, and 6 runs for Ramesh to complete his half century, 50 runs. Datta Prakash, 3 overs, probably the final over for the innings, or maybe at least for Prakash's bowling spell today. He's got some swagger on. Half tracker, bowl a little too quick. Misfailed. That's sloppy. That's very sloppy. expecting the ball to come to you. Absolutely not acceptable. It is the time that the players from the Tigers would try every run, should make every run hard to achieve for the Kingsmen than making it easy for them. Should be a hard fought victory. That's looped up. Almost 8 required, 45 is what Ramiz is batting on, of 37 deliveries, approximately 120 plus strike rate. He's been splendid with the six hitting ability, especially those that he's hit across the mid wicket, down on one knee, that requires strong foundation. Nicely flighted down the ground as he hit that big. Yes, it's high, handsome, long enough to give him 6 runs. Straight down the town. Flexing his muscles. He gets another 6 runs. That was there to be hit, and it's been hit. Looks like Ramiz Raja will have to wait for another day to complete his half century, but nonetheless, he's the players playing for team. Probably another 4 runs or 6 runs would help Ramiz reach to a mark for his personal accomplishments. Any player, any sportsman would be thinking about team victory, and that's what Ramiz is exactly doing now. He is not too unhappy with the result what Hamad's done. Just one required to win. Scores are level, 103 for Chicago Kingsmen. My apologies. Been so carried away with the batting, the way Ramiz is played with full fluidity. Has he got it? Has he put that in the gap? Yes, he has. I reckon we'll have to wait for the confirmation if it's a 6, and Ramiz finishes off things in the style that he has liked to. Look at him moving across, making the adjustment and whipping away. There's a little signal from the leg umpire, and yes, the Chicago Kingsmen have won by 6 wickets, 109, finished off with the 6. Absolutely started. He started the innings and finished as well. Ramiz Raja. This is what we had today. Kingsmen, all round performance by Kingsmen. They would be very happy with their victory, especially 2 victories that they've had for Chicago Tigers going against them now. One to have them for themselves. Ramiz Raja with 52 for Kingsmen. Look at the way the things have started. Abhimanyu Poswal with 7 runs, 4 wickets, and 4 overs. How magnificent that spell is! Absolutely magical. Tejinder Singh with 2 wickets, 2 overs, 11 runs. That's the spin attack. And Hamad Hamza with 2 wickets again for him. For the things to close and conclude, Chicago Kingsmen with their all-round batting performance, Syed Ali and Ramiz Raja standing forces. Ramiz with 52 unbeaten and Syed Ali 37 of 37 decent hand, and Calvin Savage 3 overs, 1 wicket, 8 runs. Justin Dill a little expensive today, but with 1 wicket, and Deepchand Pinaka with 1 wicket and was expensive today. 4 extras in total and 9 extras what Chicago Kingsmen had given in total. But again, Chicago Kingsmen emerging out to be the winning team here. They get 2 points on board, they would be happy team. This is me, was pleasure, Abdul Muhid, alongside you for the game between Chicago Tigers and Chicago Kingsmen. Was a pleasure hosting you guys. I hope you guys have enjoyed, and stay tuned for more action. This was from Barrington, we are around the country in USA for Minor League Cricket 2024. We've got the box of surprise and a lot coming up. Be sure. Thank you. On the pads without trying. Tigers will not know, and he's got a wicket. For Justin Dill to continue his hoik that. Has he hoiked that well? Fielder chasing and will have to give up as the ball's too quick to sweep away into the boundary. Two slips. Oh, that must have hurt him. That really must have hurt him. 11 straight after that blow. He's got his man. Taken off his hips. Will send down, and the pace does the trick here. He did not try to overhit. Nicely flicked away. Great use of wrist. That will run away to 4 runs. Has hit that. His time. There comes a big heave, and heaves it for 6 runs, I presume. 5 required. Cuts away. Has put that fast hands into work, and that'll run away to the boundary. But surely Rishabh Pant. He takes on. He goes big. Is at maximum. Yes, he gets another one. Whipped away. Let's put that in the gap. Looks like that. And whipped well. Even if we lose, it doesn't matter. We are here to give them a fight, and we've given a good fight. He flicked away. Has he flicked that well? And yes, he has. Doesn't matter. We are here to give them a fight, and we've given a good fight. He flicked away. Has he flicked that well? And yes, he has. Like a paddle sweep, but just yes, no, yes, no, and they make it finally. This could have been 5 sixes in an over. Just kidding. He's taken off. This one will run away to the boundary. Maybe they are answering my cries here. Consistency. Goes down the track. Straight hit at the bowler. With his follow through, he could not hold. Nicely flicked away. Finally, a respite in the last moments for. Straight down the ground. Straight to the fielder. Trying for the direct hit. Will have to come back for the second one. An overthrow. An overthrow will prove costly. Nicely flighted down the ground. Has he hit that big? Yes, it's high, handsome, long, with full fluidity. Has he got it? Has he put that in the gap? Yes, he has. I reckon we'll have to wait for the confirmation if it's a 6, and Ramiz finished.
You're watching the 2024 Minor League Cricket Championship presented by Yash Technologies.